So we're going to start off with grilling your chicken. Now you can do this just in a saute pan. I've only done about 2-3 minutes per side, so it's not cooked all the way through. I just want to get a little bit of color on that. It's going to cook the rest of the way through in the oven. So grill your chicken in a pan, take it out, and then we're going to start building our sauce. So I have a little bit of onion in here. You can put some garlic. We're going to add some sliced fennel. And slice it very thin, almost like the onion. So a little bit of fennel is going to go in there. And we're just going to cook that down just until it's soft. So about 5 minutes. I mean, the longer you go, the more caramelization is going to occur and the more flavor you're going to get out of it. So, I mean, if you do have the time, low heat and cook it for another 10-15 minutes just to get some nice color in there. While that's cooking, I've done a little seasoning. So what I'm going to do for the seasoning is I have some dried mushrooms here. I use dried porcini, and I just have a regular coffee grinder, spice grinder. You can add a little bit of fennel, a little bit of chili flake, a little bit of dried basil, and you can use anything there. It's really the dried mushroom that I want. And we're going to blend it up. And this is something we use quite a bit in the kitchen. It's like a $12 coffee grinder that I only use to make spices.
Don't use the same one as your coffee, or you're going to have...
yeah.
Unless you love the flavor of coffee and want it in everything.
That might not be a bad spice blend, no?
So, could add an interesting secret ingredient.
Just until it's finely ground. You can see that there. And we're going to add, and you can add this before you grill the chicken. We're going to add just a little bit now as well because it's going to continue to cook in the oven. But as this cooks down, just that little extra step, and this you can do with anything. You can do this with, you know, soups, stews, anything on the barbecue.
You can keep this around as your secret umami spice blend
sure.
and add it to recipes and give everything that meaty flavor without, again, going for the saturated fat and the other things that we want to avoid.
Another thing that contains a lot of umami is tomatoes. And when it's cooked down even further, you get even more of that glutamic action. So tomato sauce.
Yeah, tomato sauce, you know, great for the flavor components, but also it contains antioxidant called lycopene. There's a lot of research showing that it may help to lower prostate cancer risk. So some very exciting things going on with that. And later on this month, we're going to be having a prostate health superfood for supermen class. So we're going to go deep into the research about tomatoes and lycopene.
So I've just added the tomato sauce in there. What you want to do is just bring it up to a boil, just so all of the ingredients are at the right temperature. And then I'm just going to add a little more. Just add a little bit of water in here, just to add a little bit more liquid. Because this is going to be in the oven for about an hour and a half, that liquid's going to reduce considerably. So you want to make sure that there's enough moisture in there. So that goes in. You can see it starting to bubble now. What I'm going to do is add the chicken back in there.
It's going to soak up some of that moisture.
Yeah. And just finish it with a few other things. I've got some cured black olives, just a few in there. I mean, this is just a preference. You can add whatever you want at the end. I have even a little bit of frozen spinach. You know, frozen spinach is great in this dish. It cooks through and it gives you more texture, some color.
Great way to sneak in some of those extra vegetables to get some more fiber. Fiber is another one that, as I talked about, you know, healthy body weight, it's very important. Help you stay satisfied. But also specifically to prostate cancer, diets higher in fiber have been shown to lower risk and prevent prostate cancer from coming back.
And so low heat, have it set about 350, and that's going to cook for about an hour and a half. And I'll show you.
Magically, this is what will happen an hour and a half later.
This. Just so I don't burn myself in front of everybody. Which would be incredibly embarrassing. So take this off, and you have this incredible cooked down version of what we just made. And what's really cool about this, what you want to do is literally just take 2 forks or take 2 spoons, and it just shreds apart. I don't know if you guys can see that. Really, really, really tender. And you're just going to incorporate that right back in to the sauce. So that's it. Once it's shredded, you mix around the sauce and the Parmesan part. So we're going to grate some nice Parmesan cheese. I think Christy wanted to do this part. She doesn't trust me anymore.
So cheese, again, delicious flavor. Does contain some saturated fat, but if you go for a really flavorful type of cheese, like this beautiful Parmesan, a little bit goes a long way. And you can use this great tool that Jeremy's a huge fan of, the rasp. And that way, you're just getting these beautiful little cheese curls. And this pot here will serve, you know, it'll serve how many people?
Yeah, I mean, this is good for if you're making small sandwiches, 10, 12 sandwiches.
So we're not going crazy with the cheese, but it really will go a long way in terms of the flavor. And if you're a big cheese eater, we're not going to cut it out of our diets and not enjoy it. So this is a good way to go.
And in terms of bang for your buck, I mean, you know, 2 chicken breasts, a little bit of cheese and some other ingredients, you can literally have leftovers for the week, or, you know, 10, 12 servings, which is fantastic. And this is also a great recipe, which I didn't mention. You can do this in a slow cooker. If you do have a slow cooker at home, add all your ingredients into that slow cooker and on low for about 4 hours, 5 hours. It just takes a little bit longer than your oven. Again, it'll turn out just as good. So this goes under the broiler.
You want that cheese to melt down.
Just until it gets nice and melty. And we're gonna get our plate. And while that's melting, what I want to do is just put something nice and refreshing together, because you're going to have a lot of deep flavors. So we're going to add a little bit, just, you know, quick herb salad. I have a little bit of arugula, some parsley, which is really nice. And this is a great winter lettuce that you can find in the grocery store, which is radicchio is what it's called. But this one actually in particular is a Treviso style radicchio. So it has this kind of endive long shape. This is it cut in half. It doesn't come like this. So you'll see it like this. And it has this incredible flavor, a little bit of a bitterness almost. But, you know, because you have this, you know, the sweetness from the tomato sauce, it just works really, really well.
Like we said, just adding a side salad and some of the delicious vegetables that are in the sauce, you're increasing the fiber you're getting. And fruits and vegetables alone have been shown to reduce your risk of the various types of cancer, prostate cancer included.
So it's a little bit of lemon juice on there. We gotta move fast. A little bit of olive oil. Very simple, just like a really nice olive oil on top. Then our so we got this nice melting action from that Parmesan cheese. And just, you know, toast yourself up, like we said, if you have, you know, whole grain bread. And a little bit, get that chicken, get that sauce, the fennel, the onions. And I mean, this looks like it's not healthy for you at all. Like
Nobody needs to know that it's healthy. If you want to let people try it first and then tell them all the great things that are in it, it's going to taste
really,
like
really nice. You know, almost like a barbecue sandwich with a little bit of that
beautiful salad on the side.
Sharp greens, yeah. And it's, I mean, it's a quick meal. It's not a quick meal, it takes a little bit longer, but it's pretty simple to put together. And I mean, just a little bit of that. And go heavy on the greens too, just so you can put some in the sandwich, you can eat some on your own. And that's it.